So I don't know how well this is going to work. I'm so tired. But I wanted to get parts of the video together for you guys. I think right now I'm uploading all of the tangent problems and most of the sine cosine problems. Some of this was recorded during 6th period today, so bear with us while we were having some fun. And I hope the video helps you out. Doing in this lesson, the purpose of the lesson today is we're going to work on finding missing dimensions of a triangle, missing leg lengths or hypotenuse, when given one side dimension and a angle measurement. Okay? Now, the way the book does this, it does these lessons before you find missing angles. I changed the order this year because I felt like changing the order would clear up some confusion that students had last year. So problems 3, 4, and 5, you're actually not really doing much. You're just setting up a ratio. And this lesson 7.5 is finding tangent ratios. So the first thing they want you to do is find the tangent for A and the tangent for B.
Number 3.
I'm doing number 3. And this is the first one on your homework. Now, to find the tangent ratio, you're doing, what is the tangent ratio? How do you set that up?
Opposite over
Adjacent.
Yeah, that.
So, in number 3, the angle, the side length opposite A is 24. And and then adjacent to A is 7. So if I'm asking for this as a fraction, the tangent of A is 24/7. Can I simplify 24 over 7? No. Okay? If I want it as a decimal rounded to 4 places, 24 divided by 7, so that's going to be 3.4286, correct? Because it's 3.428571. Do you follow what I did there? Rounding it to 4 decimal spaces. On your test, and you will get the review for your test tomorrow, on your test, it will either say round to a fraction or round to a decimal 4 spaces. Okay, whatever it says you do. Now for the tangent of B. Now the side opposite angle B is 7. Yes?
We wouldn't press the tangent button?
What?
We wouldn't press
No.
Okay.
No. Okay, so 7 over 24, that's it as a fraction. 7 divided by 24 is 0.2917. So for problem number 4, I want to find the tangent of A and the tangent of B. So that means that for A, the opposite leg is 35, the adjacent is 12. That is a fraction in simplest form, and 35 divided by 12 is 2.9167, rounded to the nearest 4 decimals. For tangent B, now the opposite is 12, and the adjacent is 35. So 12 divided by 35 is 3.342857 is going to round to 9. So 0.3429, that's problem 4. If I do in number 5, the tangent of A, the side opposite angle A is 48. and the side adjacent to angle A is 20. Those are both divisible by 4, correct? 48 divided by 4 is 12, and 20 divided by 4 is 5. Now, if I just ask for it as a decimal, you don't have to simplify it. But if I ask for something as a fraction, fraction always means in simplest form. So you need to have 12 over 5. Now, if I want the decimal, 12 divided by 5 is 2.4. In this case, you don't need to put 2.4000. Okay? Do we understand that one? Then I'm going to also do the tangent of B. So now the opposite is 20 and the adjacent is 48. So that simplifies to 5 over 12. You're interrupting my video, yes? Certainly. Just go. You don't need to pass. We won't tell anybody. 5 divided by 12 is 0.4. If you put 0.4166, it's wrong. Okay? Do we understand those? Okay. So now I'm going to go on to problem number 6. We're going to actually now, instead of finding the ratio, we're going to find the length of the missing side. Okay. I have a 41-degree angle, correct? Now, since I am dealing with side lengths that are opposite and adjacent, I'm using the tangent ratio, correct? So my side opposite the 41 degrees is 12, and adjacent is x. Do you know what to do next?
You have to
No, not yet. He said 41 by x. You're not multiplying 41 by x. What are you multiplying by x? Any idea? Okay.
You have to, I think you have to move the denominator.
Okay, here's what you're going to do first. What this is saying is the tangent of a 41-degree angle is equal to 12 divided by x. So what do you have to do you think?
So you would do 12 over x.
No. Guys, okay, you're doing 41 and then tangent. You want to know what the tangent of a 41-degree angle is. So in your calculator, we do 41 tangent. Now you're going to give it to me to 4 decimal spaces. What do you get?
0.8693.
0.8693. Okay, now hold on a second. Since you have 12 over x, you get rid of that x by multiplying both sides by what?
12.
Not by 12, by... hold on, I'm going to have to edit this part out. No. Thank you for calling. You're interrupting our video, but that's okay. What can we do for you? Obviously, nobody... I don't know. Yeah, I have class exams. No, I said I don't have a class first or second. I have a class third, fourth, fifth, and sixth. Okay, I will send her up. Okay, bye. Maria Escher, oh, she's in the bathroom. When she returns, she needs to go see Mr. Moody's. Okay. So I'll just edit that part of the video out. It's okay. So now, 0.8693 x equals 12. So x equals 12 divided by 0.8693. And what do you get?
13.8042.
Okay, so in this case, they say round to the nearest tens. So it's 13.8. Okay, so what I'm saying is, if I have a triangle and the side, it has a 41-degree angle, the side opposite is 12, the side adjacent is 13.8. Okay, very useful in building applications because when you're trying to build things and you're trying to get them at exact angles, if you can picture you with a giant piece of wood or with fencing, it's kind of hard to say, okay, well, lift it a little bit more, lift it a little bit less, so I get it at a 41-degree angle. But if I want to make a ramp that, let's say, is 12 feet in height at the top, and I wanted the ramp to hit the ground with a 41-degree angle, I know that this bottom of this ramp has to be 13.8 feet long. So for number 7, I have a 27-degree angle, correct? This side opposite the 27-degree angle is, yes? X. And the side adjacent is 15. So that's tangent, correct? So in your calculator, 27 and the tan button, what do you get?
0.5095.
Point what?
5095.
5095
Yes.
equals x over 15. So if we do 0.5095 times 15, what do we get? Mr. Moonies wants to see you.
7.642.
7.6. So sorry if there's a glitch in the video. We got interrupted by a very important phone call because it's my sister's 42nd birthday today. So we had to wish her happy birthday. Yeah, we have more fun in 6th period than the other classes. What can I say? So the missing length here in number 7 was 7.6 units. Okay, you're going to... So for problem number 8, we want to find the value of x to the nearest 10th. So we have a 58-degree angle. I have legs here. I don't have the hypotenuse. I have the opposite and adjacent leg, so I'm using tangent. Not to mention that this lesson is the tangent lesson. The opposite is 22. The adjacent is x. So in this case, in my scientific calculator, which I have to get mine ready off screen, I'm going to do 58, and then I'm going to press the tangent button. The tangent of a 58-degree angle is 1.6003, rounded to 4 decimal spaces. And that equals, handwriting is very messy here, 22 over x. Now, since I'm doing 22 divided by x, to get rid of that x, I have to move it to the other side by multiplying both sides by x. So 1.6003 x equals 22. And then I'm going to do 22 divided by 1.6003. I'm going to do that off camera here, 22 divided by 1.6003 gives me 13.7. So this is 13.7. For problems 9, 10, and 11, they tell you to find x using the definition of the tangent and also to compare it to the rules for a 45, 45, 90-degree triangle and a 30, 60, 90, which you have not learned yet. But I can still use the tangent ratio. The tangent of 45 is opposite over adjacent. When you put 45 tan into your calculator, you get the tangent of a 45-degree angle is actually 1. So 1 equals x over 6. 1 times 6 is 6. So x equals 6. On next problem, 30. Tangent of 30 is opposite over adjacent. Now in this case, since you're going to end up multiplying by 10 radical 3, I would put 3 square root into my calculator. I get it's roughly 1.3720. I would multiply that by 10, and I would get that 10 radical 3 is basically 17.32. So instead of using 10 radical 3 on the bottom, on the denominator, I would use 17, that's really messy, 1732. In my calculator again, the tangent of a 30-degree angle is 0.5774. And that equals x over 17.32. So if I take the 0.5774 times 17.32, I get that x is roughly 9.99, or that rounds to 10. There's a shortcut that we will learn tomorrow in the next lesson about how to find that without doing all of this using our 30, 60, 90-degree theorems. But for right now, x is equal to 10. And for our last problem here, the tangent of a 60-degree angle is equal to the opposite over adjacent. When I use my calculator, I get that the tangent of 60 is 1.732. To solve this equation, I'm going to multiply by 4, and I get 6.928. So roughly 6.9 is number 11. Okay, so moving on, I'm also going to look at the homework that is on page 471. Numbers 7, 8, and 9 are again finding a ratio. They just have you finding the cosine ratio for angle x and angle y. So to set this up, cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse. If I ask for it as a fraction in simplest form, 27 and 45 are both divisible by 9, correct? So that's 3/5.
Which number is this?
7
1.
on page 471. Number 7 on page 471. 3 divided by 5 as a decimal is 0.6. A line of y. The adjacent to y is 36. The hypotenuse is 45. 36 and 45 are both divisible by
Oh,
9.
9. That's 4/5. 4/5 is 0.8.
That's number 8.
I'm going to do another one of these. I'm going to do number 8. So, to find the cosine of x, the adjacent is 15. The hypotenuse is 17, right? So that's a fraction in simplest form, correct? Now, what is 15 divided by 17?
Let's figure it out.
Let's do it together. 15 divided by 17.
I got the answer.
8824. Shh.
That's no way.
I'm going to talk like the elementary school teachers. That's why they're always, never voices tired, because they talk like this. So now, class, that would be 0.8824. If you put 0.8823, you've rounded incorrectly and gotten it wrong. You can't stay like that.
It's scary when they talk like that, but then when they yell, it's really scary because they usually talk like
That's why I could never be an elementary
that.
school
And they
teacher.
scream really loud.
So, cosine of y. I got no time for this. I'm teaching. So now I have 8 divided by 17, correct?
I got the answer.
I hope you got 0.4706. Question?
Never mind.
Okay. So, for number 10,
Yeah.
I want to find the length of x, correct? I have a 32-degree angle. Is x opposite or adjacent to 32? Opposite. And I have a hypotenuse, correct?
Yes.
So when I have opposite divided by hypotenuse, what ratio am I using? Yeah, I'm videoing. Sine. So now, this is where in the calculator I have to put 32 sine. And I get an answer to 4 decimal spaces. What do I get?
0.5299.
0.5299. I think it's 9999999.
It's 9911264.
52991.
52991. So it's
Yeah,
gonna
so
be
it's
5299.
Okay, so it's 5299. So they told me wrong in 5th period. So 0.5299 equals x over 18. Now I just have an algebra problem. So 0.5299 times 18 is what?
Times 18 equals 9.5382.
So we're just finding the length rounded to the nearest tenth. So that's 9.5. X is 9.5 units long.
I know how to figure out
Now I'm going to do y. Okay, tell me what I'm doing for y.
You have to do Pythagorean theorem.
No.
You have to do.
You can do it that way, but you're not practicing
Get
that.
up there.
So 32. Now you have the adjacent, correct? Y is the adjacent over the hypotenuse. And so that's cosine. Yes, you can use Pythagorean theorem, but because of rounding, you're going to start getting off. You're going to be off by a tenth or something. You don't want to do that because you don't want to miss an answer by being off by a tenth.
Okay.
Okay? So I understand somebody might have told you to use Pythagorean theorem, but that person's not me. That's why they pay me the big bucks. Yes.
32 over 1.
Okay. What?
Would you put 32?
No, you're going to do cosine of 32 in the calculator. So what 32 cosine, what do you get?
8480.
0.8480 times 18 is going to equal y. So what does y equal? 15.26. So that's going to round to 3. If you start using Pythagorean theorem to solve, because you rounded here, you could end up getting like 15.24 when you do Pythagorean theorem, and then you're going to round it to 15.2, not 15.3, and you're going to be off. Okay? Was there a question?
Yeah, why is oh no.
Okay? Do one more? Okay. So I'm going to do number 11. Okay, I have 48. I want to find the hypotenuse here. I'm going to find A first. And the only other number I have is 10. So if I'm angle 48, 10 is the adjacent angle to the 48-degree angle, correct? Sorry, 10 is the adjacent leg to the 48-degree angle, and A is the hypotenuse. So adjacent divided by hypotenuse is cosine. So in your calculator, cosine of 48, you hit 48, then you hit the cosine button is what?
0.6691.
Now, a lot of kids have messed this up today. A equals 10 divided by 0.6691. It's not 0.6691 divided by 10. So what is 10 divided by 0.6691? 1.5?
Rounded.
Okay, so A is 1.5. No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I
10 divided by 0.6691 is not 1.5. You did it backwards.
It's 14.945.
I got that the first time. I thought it was wrong.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
But you did, so
14
you
point.
should have pointed.
Yeah,
14.
14.9.
Okay?
Hypothesis.
First of all, it could be 1 because you can't have a hypotenuse shorter than a leg. So A is 14.9. That's okay. Now, to find B, I would prefer you not use the hypotenuse since that's what you just found. I'd prefer you go back to what you have. So hold on a second. B over 10. What trig ratio are you using? Even though they say use sine or cosine, when you set this up as B over 10, what are you using? Tangent. Opposite over adjacent. What is 48 tan? 1.1106, okay, times 10 equals B. Oh, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Say hi. You're walking through my video. The video that we're recording for the homework. You love me again? Maybe I'll edit that out. She's mad at me last period. I'll edit this out. Because of her seats or because of something else? Oh, no, she's mad because she doesn't like her seats. Because they have assigned seats. Okay, I'm going to edit this out. So shh, I need to find my editing part. So shh. Okay, then I'll be able to find it. So, when I multiply by 10, I get 11.1, correct? We got it?
Yeet.